Hello, BookTube. Well, it's late in the day, but it's another mail haul, a small one, but it not only ends with a box, but before that we get to an enormous package. It isn't a box, but it's twice as big as one. So I thought we'd get right to it with this first one, this big board-sized white thing. Uh, what could this be? Oh, okay. I was just about to complain that the board-sized white things, when other booktubers get them, usually come from science fiction publishers. But that I never. I was going to complain that I never get them, but this is in fact a science fiction novel. This is from Farrar, Straus and Giroux, and this is the finished copy of Jeff Vandermeer's Born. And I kind of like this cover. It's got a kind of a busyness to it that I like. And I had the advance copy of this, so I'm glad to have the finished copy. This comes out at the end of the month. Has advance blurbs that just love it to death. Boy, and he's doing a ton of publicity for it, just all over the country. Wow. Including here in Massachusetts. This is in Born, a young woman named Rachel survives as a scavenger in a ruined city half destroyed by drought and conflict. The city is dangerous, littered with discarded experiments from the company, with a capital C, a biotech firm now derelict, and punished by the unpredictable predations of a giant bear. Rachel ekes out an existence in a shelter of rundown sanctuary that she shares with her partner Wick, who deals his own homegrown psychoactive biotech. One day, Rachel finds Born during a scavenging mission and takes him home. Born as salvage is little more than a green lump, plant or animal, but exudes a strange charisma. Born reminds Rachel of the marine life from the island nation of her birth, now lost to rising seas. There is an attachment she resents. In this world, any weakness can kill you. Yet, against her instincts, and definitely against Wick's wishes, Rachel keeps Born. She cannot help herself. Born, learning to speak, learning about the world, is fun to be with. And in a world so broken that innocence is a precious thing, Born makes Rachel see beauty in the desolation around her. She begins to feel a protectiveness she can ill afford. So that sounds really good. And of course, Jeff Vandermeer is no piker when it comes to the genre. So I did not read the advance copy. In fact, I think I gave it to somebody. So I will definitely read this. And then we move on to this thing here. A small mail haul, but, you know, they have their place too. Okay, so this is late April. Oh, okay, this is another, we've seen this already. This is another copy of The Digital Mind, How Science is Redefining Humanity, by Arlindo Oliveira, who is president of the Instituto Superior Técnico, where he is also professor in computer science and engineering department. So is this, one thing I didn't check the last time we saw this, is this translated into English? No. All right, good. So the Digital Mind. Then we have the envelope that I was talking about, this thing. That's gigantic. And it doesn't strike my instincts as something that is coming to me from a publisher, which is kind of strange. Probably those instincts are wrong, but it doesn't feel that way. Let's see what we have here. Oh no, okay. It's not from a publisher, it's from one of you. How nice. Oh my. Oh goodness gracious. Oh, very nice. It's a hardcover copy of Bob Asprey's biography of Frederick the Great, which I have praised on this channel before. Look at that. Somebody had to remember that. It's in perfect condition. That was very, very nice. Thank you so much. It underscores it underscores a point that I've made on this channel before. This will without being too much of a douche weasel myself for making it. I will take the opportunity to make it again. If you are feeling generous towards me, which I don't know why any of you would, considering how much sass I give you, but if you're feeling generous towards me, don't get me a book. It will almost certainly fail. It will almost certainly be a waste of your time and money. This is a perfect case in point. Not only have I read this book, but I read it in draft, not just in galley, but in draft on yellow legal pads in handwriting because the author was a friend of mine. So, and it's a perfect case in point. There will be a story like that behind almost any book that you want to get me. So if you're feeling generous, I'm not saying that you should, but if you are, you now have two avenues to express that generosity. The first is the one we mentioned on this channel many times before. Feel free to call the Brattle Bookshop here in Boston. And just order a gift certificate over the phone. You don't even have to use my last name. Just tell them, I want to give a gift certificate to Steve. They'll know exactly who you mean, and they'll make it happen. Or you can join the marching ranks of Snap, my Patreon, which I will kindly list down below. But the one way you shouldn't express your generosity, although I'm so grateful that this person did, the one way you shouldn't express your generosity is getting me a book. I live, eat, and breathe books. I swim in the current of books. Getting me a book is like getting a box of salt water for a fish. It is almost guaranteed to be a waste of your time. But I can't thank you enough for the generosity and for the kindness, for the thought. And also, I have a beautiful mint condition copy of Bob Asprey's Frederick the Great to give away to one of you. And it's fantastic. I really can't recommend it high enough. There was a Frederick the Great biography just last year that was really good. This is even better. Just a fantastic first-rate reading experience. So let me know if you're interested. And then we have the last one. This is the box, and this comes from Penguin, so no need to tear it open. It's sort of open at the end here. Oh, it's two books. Great. Fantastic. Nice way to end things. So what have we got here? Romances. How nice. So we've got Behind the Curtain by Beth Carey. And this has no pub sheet. Okay, so these are probably just paperback originals. There's something about this woman. On a break between overseas jobs, journalist Asher Gates returns to his hometown of Chicago and allows his friends to persuade him to check out a hot new singer. At a downtown jazz club, he's soon transfixed by the lyrical voice and sensuous body of a woman who performs behind a thin, shimmering veil. The veil gives Moroccan-American Lila Barrick the anonymity she needs since she has never been able to reconcile her father's family values with her passion for music. But one man is inexplicably drawn to her, and when Asher confronts her on a subway platform after a gig, he's shocked to recognize the woman who walked away from him 9 years ago. So they have a connection. So it's not Hound Dog in Audience meets pole dancer. They have a previous connection. Okay, that's interesting though. The Moroccan side, the Moroccan immigrant side, will have probably, if the author's done her homework, it will have a lot of interesting elements to bring to bear on the subject of an exotic dancer. I guess the big if there is if the author's done her homework. And then the next one is The Next Flame by Penelope Douglas. These are contemporary romances. I do still read contemporary. Those of you who know that I love romance, you know that I love Regency romances, but I read contemporaries too, especially when they come to the doorstep. Let's see here. So this is the conclusion to the Falling Away series, of which I have none of the others. So, and it's long too. Okay, so there might be a lot of stuff in here that I don't get. Tatum Brandt finally has everything she wants now. All through high school, Jared Trent called the shots. He decided if she would be happy or sad, fearful or free. He owned her heart, and he played with it like one of his cars. But ever since Jared left town, Tate's life is exactly where she wants it to be, or that's what she tells herself. Because 2 years ago, her heart also stopped beating, and there's only one way she can feel the same rush in her blood. Friday nights on the track. That's hers, not his, and to hell with anyone that gets in her way again. On the track. Something else where she's not betting on horses, so she's driving or riding or something. See, that's another, like, I would probably know that if I knew the context of the series. Quinn Carruthers has several problems. Her father, Jason, and her 3 older brothers, Jared, Maddock, and Jackson. Under the close watch of the men in her family. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Tatum Brandt? Okay. Quinn Carruthers has several problems. Her father, Jason, her 3 older brothers, Jared, Maddock, and Jackson, Under the close watch of the men in her family, Quinn has found it nearly impossible to spread her wings or even date without them jumping in to hover. And when a family friend, several years older from her childhood, captures her heart, she knows they're going to be a problem. Lucas Marrow is a man, experienced, sophisticated, and important, and knowing her brothers, he may as well be forbidden. But Lucas left town years ago and shows no sign of returning. Quinn knows she shouldn't wait for him anymore. But then a package turns up on her doorstep with no return address, and its contents reveal family secrets that threaten to turn Quinn's world upside down. She's never asked about the tumultuous past of her parents' romantic history, but she soon learns their unhappy marriage had a very rocky and passionate start. Okay, I'm now thoroughly confused. Why was I told about Tatum Brant if I'm going to be reading about Quinn Carruthers? And, have these parents never heard words like Mary or Sarah? Maybe this is two novellas. It says a fall away novel. The Next Flame, a fall away novel. So what's going on here anyway? Okay, so a fall away novel, The Next Flame, goes to there, and then Next to Never, so another novel, goes in the back. All right. Yeah. So these are two final falling away novels to finish the series off. Okay. All right. So we have Robert Aspie's Frederick the Great, a classic of modern biography. We have The Digital Mind, a duplicate. We have Born by Jeff Vandermeer. And we have The Next Flame and Behind the Curtain, two contemporary romances. And that is our rainy day afternoon mail haul there. So I'll see you soon, book 2. Thank you.